In this session, we are going to wind up or discuss the last part of the poem An Old Woman by Arun Kolaka. Students, we have studied the different concepts that is, they have used in the form of images, symbols, where the poet takes them and compares with the woman that he has created here, or maybe he has seen the woman there with her physical features of her old age as such. So that is why. So we have reached almost the climax or the ending of the poem An Old Woman here. Isn't it? And we have seen in the last class how the poet compares and talks about the reality of life here. Whether it is a living or non-living thing, whether it is a hill, mountains or temples or sky, universe, whatever it is, everything on earth in creation has a one day where it has to leave the present world wherever they were. So everything that is created on earth has a death. If there is a birth, think that, so there is also a death here. Okay? Birth, if you think or believe that there is a birth, okay. Birth, and there should be certainly a death also, idea. So these are the truths, birth as well as the truth, the reality, the existentiality, what we say, or the truth. So if you born, then you have to die. But in between, this is what you have given to enjoy your life. This is what the time and period that you have given by the creation or the creator, higher power, to lead your life accordingly as he has created him. So every creation has given its own freedom, independence and values, strengths and weaknesses as well. As he created man on earth, he also created all other creatures, animals or insects, whatever it may be. As he has given life to these, so he also gave life to this also, man also. As the Creator has given so many comforts in the life of animals, so has he given to the man also. And has he given the restrictions, boundaries or limits of life, he also gave the same things to the animals also. Whatever it may be, even if it is a things, non-living things, it is the same thing the God has given to them also. So everything has an end. So this and what? This. All these come to an end here. What is that? It is a death. So one or the other day. So the God has fixed a period or a time or a date for the end of his own creation. Isn't it? So, creator creates. Okay. Creation. And a fix of a date or a death also. As he gives birth, so then and there itself, so the higher power, you can say higher power, whatever it may be, so that is why he takes up the images to compare the life of the old woman to the things that he mentions here. With a plate glass clatter around the shatterproof crone, who stands alone. That is his character, old woman. So now the position or the situation of the old woman is very serious. She is in a position where she is counting her last days of life. And she is in a situation when you bring plate glasses together forcefully and clatter them so they will become pieces. With the plate glass, when it clattered, it become pieces. Or breaks. Isn't it? And dies, or when it is breaks means glass, once if it becomes piece, okay, and it is broken, so it will never be used again. So that is the end of it. So that is the death. What is that? Clatter, end, you will see here, end of this plate glass. And in the same way, around the shatterproof crone. Shatterproof is nothing but a sky here. What is that? Sky. Shatterproof sky. So it is under sky, and under the shatterproof crone, around the shatterproof crone, who stands alone. Crone means the shatterproof is ugly. No, she is like a shatterproof, and she is like a crone that is ugly, wild woman. You say that is the what a crone here, who stands under the sky. So ugly woman who stands alone. She stands alone here once again. Ugly old woman, he says. And she is alone here. So this is what we have taken up in the last class. We were dealing with the last stanza of the poem here. Isn't it? So now, so the remaining last stanza, see how the poem begins very simple, begins with simplicity. But as you read the stanzas ahead here, it becomes serious. The matter or the theme of the story or the poem becomes serious and serious, and important, and it is meaningful, more meaningful and meaningful. So that is what Kolatka uses his themes in his poetry as such. Then, see, once again, remember the last stanza. What are this? And the hills crack, and the temples crack, and the sky falls. With a plate glass clatter around the shatterproof crone who stands alone. So these stanzas are of very much important to be known to you. See, whenever I get a question on this poem, I think the question is asked on these themes, on these stanzas, what these convey the theme here. I think this is the central idea or the plot where the author is focusing on, and also he is much serious in this matter of old woman here, the position she was in. And he takes up very beautiful, meaningful images and symbols and try to compare the woman here or the plight of the woman here. Yes, so that is why it is better to know, thing. That is why I am repeating here. With a plate glass shatter around the shatterproof crone who stands alone. Then, last stanza. Look at the last stanza here. How he ends or concludes his poem here. Yes. And you are reduced to so much small change in her hand. And finally, it is a strong message to the man here. He is very serious, aggressive towards those people who never wish or help this old woman such a small change or an amount of 50 paise to her. And he finally says that whoever who can't give the 50 paise to this old woman, so their values, their behavior is reduced to so much, to such a small amount that even it is smaller than the change that the woman is demanding here or requesting to give them here. See, this is the ultimate thing, because see, helping service has its own values, its own way of maintaining as such. Service, or social service, social work we say. Whom to devote our social service or give our service. Whom to serve and whom not to serve should be known to us. Here, 100% the woman was in a very bad condition that everyone, whoever comes in contact with this woman in that particular place has to give her 50 paise coin here. Why? Because she is performing her duty as a guide here. Even if it is second time or third time, or even if you have already seen the temple, that doesn't bother, that doesn't mean here that you have to give her a 50 paise. If you won't give her, so you are reduced to below this 50 paise. Your value, your life, everything will be reduced smaller than this small change here. So that is what the poet here says, and you are reduced to so much small change in her hand if you don't give her 50 paise. If you don't welcome and permit her to help you, permit her to do whatever she feels. She never do or harm or give you pain at all here. She only wants, she will take you to the shrine, and she will show you the shrine, the temple, and she will communicate or explain few things that she knows about the temple. That's what. And for which, so yes, we have to give her a 50 paise coin here. So that is the expectation here. Why? She never begs here. She never asks us, give the money with free of thing here. Like the beggars. So in the streets they call Amma, Appa, Na and beg. So it is not the position of this woman here. She wanted to work here. Work as what? As a guide. Why? Because that is the only job left for her in that particular place. So we have to give her a job first. We see that she had a job. See that she will carry out with her guiding to the visitors in that place. So here, so we have seen 1,000 lakhs, crores of people who have lost their jobs today due to the pandemic. So thousands of people, youngsters, have lost their jobs, and still there are crores of people who are unemployed, and who are employed also became unemployed due to the COVID-19. You might be observing. So here the poet urges here, see, my character, the old woman has grown up means old aged woman, where she has only the job or responsibility to carry out her duty as a guide in that lonely, wretched place, and she had no other work to lead or to live in her life. So that is why he requests, he gives us a message. See, this is the position of the woman here, and where the service is required here. Your service is required to her here. Okay, she is not simply begging here. She is performing something. She is doing her own duty here, and which she had, what up the contemptedness here, so the patience, and she wanted to live till her death here. Though she is counting, so though she is old and aged or counting her last days of life, she never want to die, as artificially here. She wanted to die when it comes to her. So till the death, she wanted to live, and to live, she had to perform her duty or do some work in order to get something to eat as such. So it is that position of the woman that we see in this poem, an old woman here. So my dear students, an interesting poem, a very simple poem here, and the marks were distributed see here. You will have 1 mark question, my dear students. Okay, 1 mark question. Okay. Then you will have 1 4 mark. So once again, 1 here. Okay. Or otherwise, since we have a 6 mark question is based on the pattern of choices here. Only 1 6 mark question, and we have choices over here. So the 6 mark question is based on the pattern, PU pattern. 1 from poetry, 1 from prose, and 1 from play. That is the Watchman of the Lake. So you may also expect 6 mark question from this. Okay, or okay, you can say 6-mark question. One. So this is the what idea or the marks distribution of this extract or the poem here. So as I say, it is 5 mark and 6. And he may also give 1 mark question in this section also, or he may also give 1 mark question also. So if he gives 1 mark question over here, okay, then what happens here? The mark 7 mark. 6 plus 1, it will become 7 in this case. So isn't it important here? Because and also it is very simple here. So when you take up this poem based on the form of triplets, it's so simple, even the language here, the words here, with a plate glass clatter, around the shatterproof crone who stands alone. So there is an irregular pattern of alliteration here used by the poet here. See in this, okay, I'll come from the beginning of the poem here. An old woman grabs hold of your sleeve and tags along. Grabs sleeve along. No. She wants a 50 paise coin. She says she will take you to the horseshoe shrine. Coin, shrine. Okay, first and third line agrees here. We have seen it already. She hobbles along anyway and tightens her grip on your shirt. So no agreement here. Already, anyway, no. Ovular assonance will come here. She won't let you go. You know how old women are? They stick to you like a burr. Go, burr, or burr. The second and third line agree each other in alliteration here. Then you turn around and face her. With an air of finality, you want to end the farce. Is her litty a farce? No. When you hear her say, what else can an old man do on hills as wretched as these? No. You look right at the sky, clear through the bullet holes she has for her eyes. Holes, eyes. And as you look on, the cracks that begin around her eyes spread beyond her skin. Look on skin. And the hills crack, and the temples crack, and the sky falls. First and second, crack, crack. Then with a plate glass clatter around the shatterproof crone who stands alone. Second and third line are agreeing here. And you are reduced to so much small change in her hand. Reduced hand, no alliteration here. So this is the form and the structure of the poem, An Old Man here. So, dear students, this is the end of the poem that is An Old Woman by Arun Kolatkar here. And let us discuss or see the comprehension part of this poem here. So coming to the second main question in comprehension, see, how is the plight of the old woman depicted in the poem? The plight of the old woman here. Yes. One question. Old woman, plight of the old woman. How is it brought out in the poem? Okay, then I'll just read out the three questions here. The old woman in the poem is a self-appointed tourist guide. Yes, of course. Not a beggar. Do you agree? Give reasons. Yes, 100% we have to agree and say that she is not a beggar. She is a self-declared tourist or self-appointed tourist guide here. Yes. Why did you choose that particular job? Because there is no other job to do in that lonely place. And how do you prove it that she is self-appointed? That she is not a beggar? So I will agree that she is not a beggar and she is working as a tourist guide there on her own. So the reasons. From the beginning of the poem, you have to say, to prove that she is a self-appointed tourist guide, as soon as the people comes to see the temple here, she runs towards them and she grabs the sleeves of shirt and drags them to the temple here. Why? Because to show them the temple and explain or give them the information that she knew about the temple here. So that is what the tourist guide's job is. And even if you look at the picture given here, so we also see that yes, she is a self-appointed, because nobody is salaried there, and the temple was in a lonely place here, very far away from the crowd, and it is alone there and in the hills, on the hills or in the hillsides as such. And even she, forcefully holds the people, and she wanted to take them to show the temple here because she has no other job here. So that one you can say, okay. And those stanzas which help you to then say, you can say first stanza and then 50 paise coin, and she will take you to the horseshoe shrine. And that also she hobbles a long way, tightens her grip on, so then she won't let you go. You know how old women are, they stick to her like, but no, not that one you can add one line out of that stanza here, you turn around and face. I don't think you can mention this and you say hills can women do on hills. Yes, you look right at the sky. Yes, see, these are the things wherever you feel like there is an answer or information for this question. To prove the woman as a private or self-appointed tourist guide, you can claim. And for the plight of the old woman, this is one of the important question, my dear students. Very important. Why? Because it involves or includes the whole major theme of the poem here. The plight of and important theme. The central plot for the poem is this, the plight of the old woman here. The third question, if you see, under second main question itself, how does the speaker's attitude undergo a change? How does the speaker's attitude undergo a change? Okay. So that is why, so when a creator gives us a birth, he also gives a death to us. So one has to enjoy the life or the time period between these birth and death here. So that is why we have a reality here, existentiality here. The poet here speaks about the reality and where everything on earth in the universe has end, has death. As it has a birth, it has to die. So it also has death at the end. That is the reality here. Nobody can escape from this. Nothing can escape from this. This is the truth. One has to undergo here. So that is why, see, as the hills also have cracked, hills crack, temples crack, and the sky falls. So here, everything which is created on earth has death. Everything that has been born on this earth has to die. So, the woman also will die and we also will die. Only thing is, it differs with a slight change of time here. The woman go a little bit early to attain her death. We, myself, will take a little bit of time here to attain death, but it is certain I have to go and attain the death. I have to experience the death. So nothing can stop me from reaching death or experiencing death here. So that is the truth here. That is the existentialism here. So that's what he wanted to express through these phrases he used or the lines he used here. And third question here, bring out the significance of the phrase cracks around her eyes. Listen, cracks around her eyes in relation to the description of the woman as shatterproof chrome. Yes. Significance of the phrase cracks around her eyes. Yes. She is old, ugly woman whose views and desires have been shattered. There is no supporters, caretakers for this old ugly woman here. And it is under this sky which is going to fall some other day here. So both have to attain the end or close their life here. And she is all alone in the world here. And cracks around her eyes tells us that she is old, tells us that she is aged, tells us she is weaker, duller by doing the work of a self-appointed tourist guide in the sunlight here. She was waiting all the day for the visitors to that spot, temple there. Since it is located very far from the city or the crowd of people, so very less number of visitors used to visit that temple. So she used to sit and wait for the visitors there. And as soon as there is a visitor, she used to run to them, rush towards them, and hold their shirt or sleeve of their shirt, and then she used to drag them to the temple here. At last she feels happy when she sees a visitor to that particular place, thinking that at least I got one today as such. And because she became older aged and she is dull, weak, and she has no proper caring or nobody to help her, and she is working from morning till evening, all these reasons are the causes for her physical features. There they look dull, scary, and there were cracks around her eyes, and it has spread throughout her body here. So that is what the significance there. And even the walls, everything. When a woman aged, her skin will become cracked, a scaly like thing. But even the buildings will also crack. As how we have our Taj Mahal, and we have been studied or explained too deeper into that part here, isn't it? So that is why I want you to think about this. I want you to be serious about this, because you can score full marks here. Means if it is asked for 7, you can score 7 out of 7. Okay, and if it is asked for 1 mark plus 4 mark, 5 out of 5 here. So that is why be careful and study this, because it is too small and simple here, even to remember the lines of the poem here, and you can quote them wherever it is necessary in your answers here. So we are going to wind up this class, okay, today by ending the poem An Old Woman. Thank you, everyone.